break it down for us. What do you see here in Microsoft? What's jumping out to you?
A couple of things. I mean, it was supposed to be a boring quarter because we were not, we're not going to see the push from Windows 10 right now. That's not going to come for another couple of quarters. But the Azure numbers were pretty good. The Windows Office 365 numbers were pretty good. Unearned revenue, that's going to come out, revenue for the future quarters was up 9% in constant currency, and that was pretty good.
Okay, so let's talk about the cloud, because Microsoft's cloud business is also going gangbusters, it seems, number 2 to Amazon. I sat down with Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella yesterday from Dell World, and I asked him about margins specifically. If you're competing with Amazon, could Amazon spoil margins for the entire industry? Take a listen to what he said.
I don't come at this by starting with margins, because I think if there's one thing that all of us have lived in tech is how do you grow the pie? Yeah. What matters to me is the magnitude of revenue and the impact it can have.
Is that fair that he's not thinking about margins? Is that the right way to approach this?
Well, I mean, what's fascinating is you look at their overall margins. I mean, very few businesses have a 60% overall margin anyways, but they have to be in the cloud to protect their core. I mean, a lot of the people who use Office 365 and some of their other products, these are small businesses which are already moving into the cloud. Microsoft has got to be there. They've got to be there at any cost, the extent to which they sacrifice margin to be there really shouldn't matter to them overall.
Something else that we're seeing with Microsoft is a lot of partnerships with competitors, like Dell, for example. Right. Now, Microsoft and Dell are both making PCs, VMware, Dropbox, and Box, IBM. It's interesting that, a New York Times headline called it Satya Nadella's crazy like a fox strategy. And we talked a little bit about his strategy and focus. Take a listen to what he had to say.
We will look at any opportunity that fits with where we want to get to. What is it that we can uniquely do? If anything that I ask myself each day is, I don't want to be in every part of the tech industry. I want to be in things that are big addressable markets where Microsoft has a unique contribution to make. Because I think that sense of purpose and identity is what makes companies successful, not just doing everything.
Michael, what's your response to that?
First of all, in some sandboxes they're fighting with people, but in a lot of others they're playing. And so it may look like they're trying to compete with Dell, but that's really at the margin. Mm-hmm. I mean, a big part of Dell's businesses are big servers, and they all run on Microsoft products. But he's being very smart. I mean, Google, other companies are very hard to partner with. It's hard to partner with Apple. It's hard to partner with Google. Microsoft opening up the doors and saying, we're a great partner will make a huge difference. And their partnerships with people like Dell and Dropbox and others, all they're going to do is help drive their business forward as well as the businesses of their partners.
It's interesting, Anurag, meeting Satya Nadella for the first time. He seems very focused. He's winning over analysts. He's winning over people with his strategies. As crazy as it may sound, how bullish are you on the future of Microsoft and his ability to re-envision this company?
See, what they have done is a smart move to pivot to the cloud. Now, that's taken a number of years and a lot of money to come up with that basic infrastructure. What they're also doing is selling value-added services to the cloud. So it's not that they are going to, I mean, they might be matching Amazon price to price on basic public cloud services, but they have add-on services that have a much higher margin structure, which is what's going to give them, not just the revenue growth, but profit growth also going forward.
So, Michael, I have to ask you, given your role on the Yahoo board and things, we're seeing big changes in leadership at Microsoft, and we're seeing him seemingly navigating this transition fairly well. How would you compare that to what's happening at Yahoo right now under Marissa's leadership?
Yeah, they're both very different companies. Mm-hmm. Yahoo is a company that's still in a turnaround. Microsoft has lost its way, but it still has a massive flywheel business. And in a lot of ways, they've gone from being a consumer company to being a business-to-business company. Mm-hmm. And I just think they're in different businesses. Yahoo, it's
trying to be a consumer-only company.
Right, exactly. And over time, I think Yahoo will find its way. The deal that they just did, that they just announced with Google, could make a huge difference in their business.
Another example of partnering with a competitor.
Exactly. And actually, I don't think Microsoft has worked out to be as good of a partner for them as Google will end up